File 56. The broadcast that replaced reality. At 1:03 a.m., every screen in the building changed. No signal warning. No transition. One frame showed normal content. The next frame showed something else. A black and white broadcast. A fixed camera angle. A room. The room looked familiar. Concrete walls. A table. A single chair. A ceiling. Light. Security immediately checked the internal systems. No external input was detected. No network breach. No active transmission source. Yet every monitor in the building displayed the same feed. The camera in the broadcast did not move. It simply showed the empty room. For 30 seconds, nothing happened. Then the light flickered. Once, twice, then stabilized. A man entered the room. He walked slowly, sat down on the chair, looked directly into the camera. No hesitation, no confusion, as if he expected to be watched. Then he spoke. This is not a recording. Security attempted to cut the feed. They switched monitors, disconnected power. But every screen reactivated, still showing the same broadcast. Even devices not connected to the system. Personal phones, tablets. Every screen displayed the same room. The man continued speaking. You are not watching this. The guards froze, because they were. Every screen showed the same image. The man leaned forward. You are inside it? At that moment, something changed. The camera angle shifted slightly. Not enough to be obvious, but enough to reveal something new. Another chair. Just outside the original frame, facing the man. Empty. The man looked toward that chair, then back to the camera. You will sit there. Security tried to record the broadcast externally, but every recording attempt failed. Files were corrupted instantly, as if the signal refused to be duplicated. The only evidence existed in real time. The man stood up, walked out of frame. The room remained empty again. For several seconds, nothing moved. Then, footsteps were heard. Not inside the broadcast, but inside the building. Real footsteps, echoing through the hallway outside the control room. The guards checked the cameras. No one was there, but the sound continued. Slow, measured, approaching. Back on the screens, the man re-entered the room. He was holding something, a folder. He placed it on the table, opened it. Inside were photographs. He lifted one and held it toward the camera. The image was unclear at first. Then the camera adjusted. The guard saw it clearly. It was a photograph of the control room, taken from inside. Facing the monitors, taken from a position that did not exist in the room. The man placed the photo down, picked up another. This time, the image showed one of the guards, sitting at his station. The timestamp on the photograph matched the current time. The guard slowly turned his head, looked behind him. Nothing. No one there. The man in the broadcast smiled slightly, then spoke again. The broadcast is not being sent. Security felt the tension rise. Because if it was not being sent, then where was it coming from? The man continued. It is replacing. The lights in the control room flickered, just like the light in the broadcast room. Once, twice, then stabilized. The guards looked back at the screens. The second chair in the broadcast room was no longer empty. Someone was sitting there, facing the man. But their face was not visible, only the back of their head. The man spoke to them. You see it now. The seated figure did not respond. The guards leaned closer, trying to identify the person. The uniform looked familiar, very familiar. One of the guards slowly stepped back from the monitors. He realized something. The uniform in the broadcast matched his own at that moment. One of the screens went black. Only one. The others continued showing the broadcast. The black screen flickered, then turned back on. But now it showed something different. A live feed from inside the control room. From an angle that no camera in the room could capture, the guards saw themselves standing there, watching the screens. The perspective was from behind them, as if someone was standing in the room, recording them. They turned around. There was nothing, but the live feed continued, showing them from behind. On the main broadcast, the man pointed at the second chair. "You are already here." The figure sitting across from him slowly leaned forward. The camera adjusted focus. The guards saw the face. It was one of them, sitting in that room. Inside the broadcast, the same clothes, the same posture, the same expression. Watching. The guard in the control room stepped back in shock, but on the screen, his duplicate remained seated, calm. Still, the man in the broadcast closed the folder, then stood up. Once the broadcast completes, he paused, looked directly into the camera again. There will be no difference. The screens flickered violently. For a moment, everything went black, then the broadcast ended. All monitors returned to normal. The control room was silent. No footsteps, no sound, no extra cameras. Everything appeared normal again. Security immediately checked all recordings. No files existed, no logs of the broadcast, no evidence. Except one thing, on the desk inside the control room. There was a folder, the same folder from the broadcast. The guards approached it slowly, opened it. Inside were photographs. Images of the control room, taken moments earlier, and one final photo. The last image showed the broadcast room, the table, the chair, and two people sitting across from each other. One was the man. The other was one of the guards. The official report ended with a single line. The broadcast was never transmitted. It replaced the original signal. And for a short time, reality matched the broadcast. Shadow Archives, File 56.